out of it and about.
Board games. Thought to have started as a bitter, misguided joke by time-traveling old people due to their inability to understand and play future video games, these two-dimensional relics from our parents' youth pop up at the occasional family gathering and candlelit blackout, often with complicated rules and an disproportionately low enthusiasm level for its players. Dice, stacks of cards, intricate playmats, and colorful pieces make up the worlds these non-waterproof distractions hope to ensnare us in. Here in sunny Los Angeles, the folks at Geek and Sundry are trying to establish these turn-based frivolities into long-standing traditions as they host their second annual International Tabletop Day. As your host, we'll see if a sober good time is to be had here today. But just to be safe, we brought along a friend, a Russian friend that can't be bought, at least after midnight. A bevy of board games at our disposal, we managed to suffer through 4 of them. Star Wars X-Wing, a game that simulates the freedom of space dogfights with a rigid 2D movement mechanic. Why can't I turn around again? Oh yeah, because dumb. King of Tokyo pits flat pieces of cardboard against other pieces of cardboard to recreate the calamity of a monster attack. There's also green cubes. What the fuck? Next! With Lords of Vegas removing the monetary reward of real-life gambling and doubling down on the self-loathing and depression, hours of fun were to be had. With the least amount of setup, the funnest game played was Suro, the Game of the Path. Players drop tiles on a game board that looks like a plate of spaghetti to move their dragons across the board, hopefully fucking up other players' paths in the process. Sadly, at this point, our BAC was returning to normal, so we looked for people to bother with some questions. Oh, look, is that America's Sweetheart and the Guild's creator, Felicia Day? Are you Felicia Day? Yes. With a big exclusive like that under our belts, a few of her underlings at GNS chime in as well. Sarah, a vlog manager, hosts a website with an all-female staff that weighs in on geek issues when they're not pooping out babies or buying shoes. Because they're women, am I right? I'm kidding, of course. I'm sure they're all barren.
Here, Sarah shares her thoughts on what makes a good vlog.
Depends on what you do, right? So if your vlog is just you just talking and rambling to somebody, yeah, that's not really a lot of stuff. Okay. But if your vlog is, hey, I'm going to show you how to make this really cool thing that I made, or hey, I want to talk to you about diversity in video games, or let's talk about this book I read and let me explain why you should read it too, or what you would want. So I think it really depends. Like, we have 17 vloggers, all their videos are under 8 minutes, but you learn something every time you watch it.
Kat with a C shares her thoughts on internships and medieval history.
You know, there are a lot of places where you do a lot of work and it's hard and you do it all for free, and you know, that does suck. But there's some companies that really make it worth it, and I think Geek and Sundry is one of them. Well,
this one is easy to learn.
King Arthur's not real.
We depart on the revelation that Shadow of Camelot is her favorite board game.
Because you're not playing against the other players, you're playing against the board, and also, you get to be King Arthur. I mean, you're literally King Arthur.
It's interesting that you said Camelot is your favorite board game, because it's also my favorite board game, except I spell it B-O-R-E-D.
You know what?
I'm just joking.
You get yourself a free ticket to no more games today.
Sorry, Kat. With the games we played so far, that's not an intimidating sentence. One of Geek and Sundry's feature contributors, Amy Dallin, who hosts Talking Comics Weekly, where she talks about Comics Weekly, chats with us about media and serial killers.
What appealed to you in comics that you couldn't find in other media, like movies or television shows? Because personally myself, I never got into comics because I always found television shows and movies were sufficient for me. But you yourself.
See, I'm a huge bookworm, regular books as well.
Okay.
And so, for me, it's just, like, I love all of them. And I find it weird that people, like, love most of them but not all. Does that make sense? Like, I love TV but not movies. I love movies but, like, nobody knows comic books. And that's weird. Because everyone should love books and comics and movies and TV because they're all different art forms. And if you're into stories, why wouldn't you
Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know if you've read it.
Dude, I haven't read that one, but I hear it's amazing. My friend Dahmer?
Yeah, it's so good.
I also haven't read this one, but have you read Green River Killer?
Green River. That. I want to get that.
It's a graphic novel about the Green River Killer.
Is it based on anybody?
Yeah, it's like the Green River Killer.
Oh, that's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a true crime kind of graphic novel.
The interview going well, Gian decides to scare her away by sharing his thoughts.
So, off topic, this isn't about me, but I'm going to talk about me right now.
Go ahead. I'm saying go ahead.
I really am interested in serial killers, so that was like a really great book for me.
Sorry, I have to run to the bathroom.
That's fine. All right.
Thanks.
All in all, despite our lukewarm reactions to all but one game, International Tabletop Day is a fun and friendly introduction to board games, with the inviting atmosphere coupled with frequent raffles, warm people, and an earnest host in Will Wheaton. Through our drunk antics, we've learned that games are not pieces of trash to line a birdcage with, but opportunities to open up new relationships with mostly kind, fun-loving people. However, if board games aren't your thing, getting wasted before coming can only guarantee a good time. So bring your friends. All of them.
I'm also very much a reader.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.